Esmeralda, as, you know, Valentina does well against all melee heroes.
But it is also true that Valentina doesn't actually have that much damage early on, so maybe the DFYG already considered that. Either way, it is officially the draft for game number 3, wildcard day 3, game 3, every single series. It's a good way to close off the group stage.
It really is. It goes to show that everybody here is desperate and everybody is eager to try and qualify for the Swiss rounds. Now, it's going to be the Zushin band coming in from the side of the ULF. DFYG already getting rid of the Gatotten as well as the Yi, wasting no time whatsoever. And a fast response for the Hilda.
Yeah, I really like how fast these teams are banning. They know what they want. And that is good to see. Gatot and Eve make a lot of sense. The Fanny as well, actually being banned on the blue side by Tianfeng Yao Guai.
Kind of interesting. Why ban out the Fanny? I mean, there was an opportunity for Fanny to get utilized, but well, I think that's totally okay here. Chip going to be the follow-up ban. All right, looks pretty similar to our game 1 draft picks and bans. Slight differences though. Let's see what the first pick is going to be for DFYG now that Fanny has been banned out. They want to take the Cho.
Ooh, DFYG are the ones that take the Cho first this time. I guess it's fair. It's very unlikely Ulfhednar are going to pull out the Esmeralda themselves to try and do the same thing. And so far, PCU's Cho is at 100% win rate in this wild card.
Yeah, he's been. I mean, there was definitely one game where I don't think he played too well, but that's the one outlier in the data that we've collected here. High loss once again going to get locked in by Ulfhednar. Let's see what the next one is going to be. It's going to be Suyo this time.
Okay. Make sure that Zed doesn't get to replicate his success, let's say, in game number 1. But there are still other junglers that are perfectly viable. The Alpha especially is still on the table.
They go for Alpha, and then do they go for a blind pick mage once more?
Blind pick mage, I mean, they can go for Farsa again.
I don't know. That's the scary part. I feel like the DFYG previously in game number 1, they blind picked the Vexana, didn't expect the Farsa on the opposite end. But now, I think there's a very good argument for Farsa to actually come into play here now that they already have the Cho. So, what's it going to be? Nolan? As well as Bruno.
Okay, I like the Bruno. Bruno definitely is a very smart choice at this phase, but going for the Nolan is interesting. I feel like the heroes on Ulfhednar's side right now aren't actually that easy for Nolan to pick off, and that's exactly what happened to TNZ in game 2.
Ooh, it's going to be a Harith lock-in here. They still want to have a good distribution of magic to physical ratio so far.
Is within my reach.
And they're already making it tough. So if they have the Harith at this point of time, and since Gatot is already banned out, they should be able to scale pretty decently well into this game while still having enough mobility to get around.
Yeah, it's not just the Gatot too. Eve and Hylos are already accounted for, so Harith doesn't have any of the big AoEs to worry about that could deny his Zaman force. Now the question comes, does Farsa get banned?
I mean, I feel like the likelihood of Farsa getting banned is there, but are there any other nasty picks that we have to be worried for? Like Valentina, for an example. If that's gone, I would only assume that Farsa is going to be the next best. Oh my goodness, wait.
Ooh, heavy mid-lane focus. Vexana and Aurora banned by Ulfhednar. Loyi banned by DFYG.
Ban out the Farsa, right? Ban out the Farsa, force them to play something like Zask.
Oh man, I haven't seen Zask in a while. Yeah, that could be possible, but I don't really like Zask very much anymore. Yes, he's still zone control, but it's not nearly as effective as some of the others.
More like what mage are you going to play at this point, right? That provides utility, that's able to provide other, if you get rid of Farsa, both artillery mages are completely out, right? So that just leaves what? Zask? Oh, Lilia as well as a pretty decent option, especially against compositions that want to run at your face.
Oh, they do it. They just did it. They banned the Farsa. We are going to see some interesting things in the mid lane right now as both Rosa and Yi1 are just taunting each other indirectly.
Do they take the Lilia here and then it's going to be like Lilia v Kagura or something crazy like that?
Ooh, Kagura, haven't seen that in a while. Yeah, I think if we're going to see Lilia, it is more likely going to be on DFYG's side to deal with the high-lows.
I don't know, Rosa plays a mean Lilia though.
That's true.
Valentina.
Yeah, the Valentina, the only viable mid laner left in the pool, unless like I'm missing something. We've seen Kadita from time to time, but that's usually the counter Eve, so probably not this game.
They go for here that's actually effective, because as much as you want to play Lilia and to initially slow down your opponents with the glue, Eudora
Cho combo. Let's go.
just one shot
just
people.
One shot people.
I don't know. Do we have to devolve that low? I think that Kagura is okay. I think that Lilia is kind of honestly, these are very meh options. Honestly, compared to the S tiers that are being currently banned out. But let's see what both Sasa and Lung, they've got to dig deep here. And keep in mind, both of them don't play the mid role.
Oh, the Faramis. I'm not sure I like it very much though. You don't usually want to pick Faramis into a Valentina.
They lock in Tigreal here, right? Oh wait, no. But you don't have to actually. Wait, hold on. No Gatot. They need some kind of AoE to try and punish this, or they can just play very similar styles of composition because they can just steal away the Netherrealm.
Yeah, Netherrealm with high-lows revitalized, like, I really don't like the Faramis here for DFYG. I get that it's one of the few options left, but I don't know how to feel about it. I was wondering if they'd go CC just to like match the Phobias in lane. It's not gonna contribute AoE against the Netherrealm, but EXP lane priority seems to be what they're looking for.
Yeah, I think worst comes to worst. I mean, maybe even like you would like to have like the counter matchup of Glue, but with Faramis available, I think that DFYG really great work with the draft here. Honestly, really great work from both sides. A lot of mind games being played, but let's recap the entirety of the composition. It's clear that from DFYG's position, they're gonna have to play for team fights, but they want to initiate like a skirmisher style of composition. Zed or even Lung being the main damage dealers. From the side of ULF and Dar, they need to have a traditional front to back. Now Rosa has a really difficult job at peeling away for a majority of the team while still sustaining them with a stolen Netherrealm.
But it is going to be a challenge either way because the pressure is bearing down upon both these teams in the Land of Dawn. A single game will determine who moves on to the M6 wildcard finals. Let's see if it's going to be ULF Hednar or Tianfeng Yaoguai.
DFYG going to be on the blue side, ULF on the red side. It's all or nothing in this very last game here. A best of one to prove who will move on to that wild card finals to qualify for a chance at the Swiss stage. Now, early rotations already being made here towards the gold side of the map. It's really important here. We saw Sunshine get blasted the last time in the Natan versus Bruno. Hopefully, it doesn't happen again.
Purify forced out in the first minute by a very early PCU rotation. There is a reason his Cho has a 100% win rate so far.
More so the way that they rotated, because you can see that even for Ulfendar, they saw the Cho initially, it disappeared off of the map and they thought maybe he was going to rotate on backwards. So a good fake coming in for PCU to get a sneaky little gang to get the initial advantage in a lane.
And he is consistently scouting out Apex as well. Will provide information that TNZ is nearing the top side. This allows Zed to try and go for Alien, but Alien will jump away, so he'll settle for the crab.
They're going to be real careful here, right? Any lane advantage could be doomed.
PCU and U1 actually very far out in lane right now. Gonna take a good amount of poke, but the same can be said for Rosa actually. This mid lane duel has been surprisingly close.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's a game of mechanics here.
Zed goes in, goes for a fracture. ULF Hednar decides, okay, we can't engage here anymore, but goes for a cheeky snipe.
Zed didn't get the initial cancel there. First turtle is going to spawn up pretty quickly here, but with the information of the missing high loss, they're going to burst this down.
Alien gets pulled back. PCU doesn't have kick since he's only level 3, but will do the damage needed to zone him off of the turtle and make sure that Zed gets it very easily.
Yep. I mean, this is what you want to do as Nolan, right? You want to outpace the Suyo in this game. Alpha has a more rigid style of, oh, I steal away camps, I use my base damage to make sure that I stay on top of you. Nolan, I'm just way quicker in the economic game and clear speed.
But I do like that TNC is going for the vertical invade right now. Seeing that DFYG, we did a very big rotation up towards the top side, has gone ahead and stolen orange buff and one more camp away from Zed, so that's gonna really mess with his timing.
Yeah, they didn't spot him out as well. I mean, Pishu, he did it. Wait, hold on.
KLVJ in trouble. Blade Surge did connect. Curtain Call comes out. Can he survive long enough? Zed is here. He actually does so much damage to Alien. KLVJ flickers forward, and the NetherRealm connects. He's gonna survive and trade for both Alien and TNC.
What a save! KLVJ does what he does best, and now this swings the game instantly to DFYG. At this point, they need something back, and they're looking towards Long. They're gonna dive.
You gotta get some vengeance here. Purify comes out, Glorious Pathway, and Zaman Force use. Long trying his best, but this is 1v3. PCU a bit too late, so Ulfenar finds a little bit in return.
But they don't get a turret. They got a kill, but not a turret, which is where we're seeing this 1.1k lead coming in from DFYG. Now, what is going to be the next move? They're going to lane swap at this point of time, and they need to hold out on this wave for as long as possible.
Aliens on the wrong side of the lane again, gets pulled in by E1. Zed goes in, Curtain Call locks them down, but they're still close enough to get the fracture. Another one going to DFYG.
They got to keep ramping this up. These are very small moments, these small skirmishes that DFYG are getting really, really good at, because Ulfenar, they want their structure back.
And I really like that PCU stayed in lane to hold the wave for long as well, to make sure he didn't fall behind in EXP. These are very small interactions that is keeping the network in favor of the Chinese team. Ulfenar, though, not too far behind. Now gonna start working on the turtle. DFYG going in, Glorious Pathway slows him down. KLVJ instantly goes in. So much damage with the Infernal Pursuit on 3 members. Alien is already down. NetherRealm comes out. Turtle secured by Zed. And KLVJ crushes Apex beneath his heel. Make that another. Sunshine is gone. Double kill for KLVJ. A beautiful pull. And U1 secures another one. 4 members down from Ulfenar.
God damn, these guys are not letting anybody go. Flickers being expended to guarantee these kills, and the initial pull from the Shadow Stampede.
They are making the impossible happen here, Gideon. 3.5k goal lead in 5 minutes against one of the strongest teams in the M6 wildcards. A 7-kill score to 1.
I wasn't expecting this type of outcome here. I made predictions already that Ulfenar was supposed to move on to that very next stage, but DFYG are making one hell of a statement here today if they can just keep up this momentum.
Honestly, this should have been the finals. I feel like it's a disservice that they're in the same group, but sometimes that's just how fate goes. Ulfenar can still come back from this. Their late game scaling is not bad at all, but they gotta stop the bleeding. In the mid lane, TNC gets pulled back. Look at Zed's damage already.
It's starting to ramp up really, really quick. At this point, even for Alien, he's pretty much out of the game, right? He's 2 levels down on KLVJ, who's 3-0-3. It's basically impossible to 1v1 him.
He wasn't able to jump over the wall. I don't think he needed to use NetherRealm, but that's a win for Ulfenar.
Yeah, that's a pretty big win for them. They're not going to have it just yet. They should, technically they should have it by the next upcoming turtle if they just drag it out a little bit more. But I think for the DFYG, it doesn't matter. The turtle doesn't matter. They want structures.
And speaking of, Long getting so much tower gold this game, actually. Is Bruno gonna be terrifying soon? KLVJ, 1v3, actually taking a lot of damage there, down to 60%.
All right, let's quickly have a look. What is their current items? Rosa hasn't completed his first item just yet in comparison to U1, who's already got that glowing wand, and it's coming into great use, denying these shields and also reducing that health. Oh,
KLVJ finds Apex, Curtain Call on him and U1. Zed comes in from the flank, nearly takes out Alien, but the NetherRealm stolen away by Rosa keeps him alive for now. PCU has to flicker away to safety as well to keep himself alive, but the turtle was reset. Ulfenar not able to maintain control of it for now. Long getting sniped down to 40%, able to heal up from the jungle creep, but not too much yet. Sunshine gets pulled back. Purify used. PCU gonna be baited out in time, and the NetherRealm a bit too late to save him. ULF Hidnar evening things up.
Good response here. Again, this is a war of attrition. Ulfindar understand that this turtle, they want to threaten it. They want DFYG to walk up further and further and look for these big pokes. Now they're changing their approach to the game because so far, I'm pretty sure Lung hasn't completed, he hasn't completed his Berserker's Fury and has not completed the Prolific Gun as well.
Yeah, I think this is a very smart choice by ULF Hidnar. They know that DFYG has a really strong burst potential. So if they're able to prolong the fight against them and consistently poke them out with their superior range, it makes it more difficult for DFYG to try and contest them for neutral objectives.
I'm not sure about in terms of what TNC is maxing out right now. It looks like he's still maxing out the Soul Sever.
Glorious Pathway, Zed, purple buff gonna be stolen away by TNC, so ULF Hidnar starting to bite back against their opponent.
Yeah, I mean, they found the timing initially, but the next item, Power Spike, from DFYG is going to be coming up real soon, and I think they're going to have to play around that as Alien finally finishes the War Axe 8 minutes into the game.
Very late timing, but better late than never at this point. This CC needs to be a presence on the battlefield. We notice as well, he's not actually using Vengeance. That is Purify on the CC, so a bit harder for him to hold the front line.
I think it's a better option, right? Because there is a lot of opportunities for them to get punished.
Ooh, the NetherRealm barely saves Rosa from Zed, but look at how much burst damage he has. Way of the Dragon kicks TNC away. Alien walking a bit too far forward, and the Ghost Bursters will finally finish him off. Here comes Long from the flank. TNC punishes Zed for standing just too far in front without NetherRealm. So does Nolan finally get punished. Glorious Pathway catching out multiple here, but Apex too low, gets pulled over the wall by the Shadow Stampede, while KillVJ continues distracting and actually flickers away, and look at the double kill!
I don't know how Hylos was able to walk away like he did. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. He had so little life. He had such little life. He should have burned all the way down. And when he finally did, I think that the damage is more than enough. Ulfindar is in a much better position despite having these 50-50 trades. At least it is going to 3-2s, right? The kills are coming through for TNZ. We are seeing that Alien is able to zone just a little bit, but the next item Power Spikes are just about to connect.
Lord down to 20%. PCU cannot really stop Alien from getting close, but they still secure it. And the Way of the Dragon onto Rosa. KillVJ with the mega kill.
PCU, he's making sure that he's holding his own. Previously wasn't able to get to the Way of the Dragon in time, but with that flicker is able to guarantee the hit. Remember, Rosa does not have the Purify in this game. We'll have to purely rely on your instincts to not get caught.
Oh, careful there, TNZ. Dashed in, but found 3 members of Yanfeng Yao Guai. Is able to back off in time. Now there's a 4v4 in the mid lane. Meanwhile, Long shoving up top with the Lord pushing bottom.
Pretty crazy how fast this game is going, right? Both sides accelerating at an uncanny pace here. But now, with Long, he's got 3 items. He's got the extra range. How are they going to have to play this now?
PCU just dashing menacingly in front of ULF Hidnar. They're able to keep their top tier 2 alive, but it's taken a lot of damage. And Zed even taking out the mid wave on his way out to allow them to contest the mid tier 1.
It's already difficult to contest for neutral objectives, but to siege in this fashion, it's you're going to get poked out. Like, Lung doesn't mind.
And look at Zed. He doesn't even mind using cooldowns on Apex because he is making a statement. He is taking HP. Everything being treated as a resource by DFYG. A knock-up, PCU actually dropping quite low, but able to dash away, and the Lord will be cleared up by ULF Hidnar. They'll survive to fight another day.
Survive for now, but man, so much damage already laid out. 5.6k for DFYG at this point of time. Max levels about to be achieved as well. I gotta quickly look at Ulfindar. How far away from their next couple of items? We don't see the Holy Crystal actually come through just yet for Harith, but very, very close to completion. Even when we're coming down to 3rd items. Oh, why don't you go for Queen's Wings from TNC instead of doubling down on the burst? He wants to survive.
I think it's not a bad idea. If they can somehow outplay the DFYG by baiting them with his low HP, then it can create opportunities to flip fights around. The gold lead still 5k though in favor of Yanfeng Yao Guai. We are 12 minutes into the game, and it's hard for ULF Hidnar to really make a statement on the map.
I mean, Ulfindar, only 2 of them have anti-heal at this point of time. A third one is coming on the way from Alien, and once he has it, at least he can start threatening Lung in the backline. But yeah, as you mentioned before, he doesn't have the vengeance, and now they initiate.
Yeah, Glorious Pathway straight away. NetherRealm forced out by Dian Feng Yaoguai very early on, and the disengage is great. Ulfindar cannot continue.
They do trade 2 ults for 2 ults. At the very least, for Nolan, that fracture comes back up really, really quick. Not as quick as the Glorious Pathway as well as the Curtain Call. At this point of time, initially in the beginning it was a game of mechanics, and now you have to outsmart your opponent.
What do you think Ulfindar needs to do here to regain their control of the mid-game?
I think making DFYG collide and like really stick together is totally fine, but they need to open up this map, right? Zed is the main problem.
Here comes Glorious Pathway again. KLVJ gets a 4-man knockup, able to spam Infernal Pursuit, but TNC gets the shutdown in time. NetherRealm also keeping Ulfindar topped up, but Dian Feng Yaoguai not showing away. The shot pulls them into the Lord knockup! The NetherRealm being used, and Dian Feng Yaoguai flips the fight around in a single second!
No way. No way, we need a replay of that. That was actually insane. How did he know that the Lord was already ready to go for the knockup, pulls them in the perfect direction on top of a flicker?
He forces Purify out from Sunshine, but ends up dying for it. A shutdown for the Heart if Sunshine needs any farm he can get right now.
It literally doesn't matter for E1 because his passive triggers and he's already back to the fight.
TNZ is nearby. Long takes some damage, but you can see that TNZ cannot continue. Alien a bit too late from the flank. Wave of the Dragon onto TNZ. Can he able to get away? Iframes just in time, and Summon Force used by Sunshine so they can dash back to his base.
Oh, Ulfindar not making it easy for DFYG to close out this game. They're going to have to put their hearts and souls here because now their biggest issue is when that Lord is crashing, their high ground defense ain't that great.
Look at the wave sync from Dian Feng Yaoguai. They are making sure to try and connect it, though I think the Lord may be a bit slow to attach with this mid lane. Top lane already pushing in since there is no minion wave there. So they're gonna try and true prong it. Alien almost bursted, but able to jump away from the fracture.
Yep, and Lung's gotta be a little careful here. Gotta make sure that he stays on the very outer ring. Make sure that he's able to get some kind of structural damage here. Ulfindar doing a very good job at making sure that as these waves start colliding, it is staggered.
But despite everything, DFYG able to connect the Lord with the mid wave anyway, and the bot inhibitor is gone. Zed not able to burst down TNZ. Good iframes from the Suyo. Mid inhibitor being targeted by Long, but the minion wave has been cleared up. KLVJ in trouble. NetherRealm comes out to save him, but he's inside the Glorious Pathway, so he gets shut down by Rosa, and Ulfindar will be able to clear up the Lord and defend their lives in the wild cards.
Way too deep there, and at least for Sunshine, he is coming to a point where he's got that Holy Crystal, and now he's got the damage to deal with the waves with the help of TNC and as well as Rosa. As long as they are moving up together to clear the waves and then pulling backwards, they've got very good odds, assuming that DFYG don't really want to go for tower dives.
Ulfindar wants to try and use the timing that KLVJ is gone to maybe get something on the map, but because the minion waves are so shoved up, they're unfortunately not able to achieve much other than regain a little bit of map presence.
No, but that just means...
Oh, that's scary. Tenzi almost dies there. I'm not too sure if they intended to give Rosa the orange buff, but looks like they're depending on their damage right now.
Better than giving it over to DFYG, right? I think at this point, 13-6, I wouldn't have expected the game to have lasted as long as it did, but Ulfindar are... Oh,
Way of the Dragon onto Apex. Not the target you usually look for. NetherRealm comes out from Rosa. Apex gonna lose all his extra HP. Gets pulled back. Infernal Pursuit gonna be following. Flicker Secunda, 3-man knockup. NetherRealm follows up. Dian Feng Yaoguai looking for the finisher. They're looking for the final nail in the coffin. Yi1 even follows Rosa to make sure he is taken out. Sunshine gets a double kill, but they have lost 3. And Yi1 will respawn so quickly.
Oh. My God, what a chase down there. Ulfindar thinking that maybe we can get something back here. Unfortunately, ends up giving 3-4-2 in favor of the DFYG. And at this point, all Lung wants to do is crack open this inhibitor.
Another 10 seconds before the high-lows comes back up, and there is a minion wave mid. But Dian Feng Yaoguai not gonna try and force it. They go for the Lord.
The Lord is open, and it's totally understandable because Harrington as well as Suyo will be able to clear these waves pretty effectively unless they're Lord-empowered minions. At this point, they're gonna rush it.
PNC not going to be able to get close enough. PCU is there to stop him. U1 does get stunned though, has to use NetherRealm on himself, and will pay the price. Killing spree for TNZ.
He tried to zone, and he ends up costing him his life. You may be 5k ahead, but we're already in the end game. Look at the recovery for Ulfhednar.
Ulfhednar want to turn this around now. They know U1 is down for another 25 seconds. This is the best opportunity to get towers wherever they can, and the minions already do some good damage. Dianfeng Yaoguai taking some structural hits where they wouldn't have expected to.
Right, without the Netherrealm, DFYG can't commit to a full fight just yet, but at the same time, it just means that Rosa doesn't have a Netherrealm to work with, so they got to make sure that they're stuck together, but not too close just yet.
The game actually still pretty even. We are approaching the 18-minute mark, which means that the 4.5k lead the Dianfeng Yaoguai have actually don't mean all that much. Even a DHS now being purchased by Long to finish off his build. The structural advantage not gonna matter as long as Ulfhednar can balance this game.
It's just balancing on a very tight rope here of mechanics. One single mistake.
Retry used on Alien, Purify as well, but
no.
he gets kicked back. Mega kill for Long. Glorious Pathway doesn't even stop Dianfeng Yaoguai. What's happening there? He just walks in, ends up feeding himself the sunshine, but they get the tower anyway.
They're not going to make a call here. I'm looking back at them, seeing what exactly happened. Marshall standing ready at the call. Finally, the pause comes on through. Definitely, what a sad moment there. Ends up walking into the wall.
That was definitely some kind of technical difficulty. There is no way Zed intended to do that. Even if they did manage to get the inhibitor for it, that could be a pretty big blow.
Oh man, after generating so much momentum as well. Goodness. This game is already so tight, 17-10 so far, and with this, with the technical pause being called, at least the members of Ulfhednar can just sit and take a moment to breathe.
But can we talk about this match, this game? It is incredible. The gameplay we are seeing from these two teams right now. They know that a victory here gets them one step closer to playing for the World Championships. They know that whichever one of them goes through is a second representative for their region.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane to think that they would get this far already, but I feel the pressure is helping them evolve. Pichu, he's going in fearlessly looking for these crazy kicks. At the same time, Long hasn't made too many mechanical mistakes. He's only died once this game. He is the center of this strategy.
Well, looks like we're gonna go ahead and jump back into the game right now. Regardless of what the circumstances were, Dianfeng Yaoguai gonna have to deal with the issue. They still have a slight gold lead, but this late into the game, a gold lead like this really does not matter anymore. But with no inhibitors for Ulfhednar, their defense is gonna be much more difficult.
Yep, and even for Sunshine, dropping the boots doesn't need it any longer. Opts to go for a lightning Chungjin for extra burst. And, since he doesn't have the boots, the extra movement speed comes in handy.
Sunshine will be a threat at this point. I'm pretty sure he's close, if not already at full build. And this Harif can definitely carry throughout the late game, but is also squishing enough to get like 3-shot by Long. So very much a marksman game at this point. Yi1 in trouble. Oh no, he got caught out of position. Unstoppable streak for Sunshine.
Yi1 has got to stop doing this. He positions himself very far away. He first initially gave up that river brush because he saw that Apex 47 could easily chase him down. Oh, hold on.
Zed almost goes for TNZ. Almost able to get it, but not quite. And the minion wave is cleared up. So Dianfeng Yaoguai doesn't have to worry about losing more towers than this. They only have one tier 2 left standing, but it's still much better than Ulfhednar.
All right, so now we go back to a stagnant state. The Lord is going to spawn in 4 more seconds, and Yi1, he cannot be this far up anymore. He cannot be giving Rosa free IMUs to steal away that Netherrealm, and more importantly, he knows that Apex 47 can chase him down if they commit the ult.
At least they're able to delay the game long enough so that Yi1 will come back before Ulfhednar starts working on the Lord. As for Ulfhednar, their position gonna need to be important. They need to respect PCU and KLVJ. These two players have been creating so much space.
Battle spells are up, and here it goes.
Glorious Pathway cuts off the Enfeng Yao Guai, but is it good enough? He's gonna stun Zed, but he's still able to jump back in. PCU still has immortality alive. Zaman Force use NetherRealm as well. TNC gets the Lord, and Sunshine picks up the monster kill on Zed, but the Enfeng Yao Guai still insisting on continuing the battle because Long is around, unfortunately. This means that PCU drops double kill over the Sunshine while Rosa continues the delayed air recall.
Huge plays come in here. They will manage to stun Zed up as he is about to engage before he's even able to buffer the animation for the fracture. Good stuff coming out for Ulfvindar. However, it's not over just yet. DFYG, they've got to slow down. They've got to slow down this pushing Lord because the death timers is 26 seconds. Zed's coming back in 17. I don't think they have got the time.
Oh, Ulfvindar could turn this game around on its head right now. It's a 5v3. U1 gonna need to flicker away. Glorious Pathway catches out Long as well as Kill VJ, but Kill VJ in the backline. NetherRealm keeping him alive, and he's still continuing. Infernal Pursuit pops the immortality on TNC. TNC chases him down, gets the mega kill. Another 5 seconds before PCU comes back, but they're able to clear the minion wave in time. Another wave comes down mid, but will they risk his Sunshine? Loses immortality, but Zed gets stunned. Is he able to dash away? No, one final hit finishes him off. Long still alive. Shut down on Sunshine. Double kill for Zed. PCU chasing Rosa down. Winter Crown. Long gets the final hit. Unstoppable for the Bruno. Apex gonna pop the Glorious Pathway finally off cooldown so that they're able to escape from the fangs of the Enfeng Yao Guai.
How did they hold on? Sunshine, he bit more than he could chew. He saw an opportunity to maybe go for the 2-shot onto Long, but both sides are losing their cool right now. But Long refuses to play anything less than perfect.
Long still going in, gets stunned. NetherRealm comes out. It is a 3v2 defense. Way of the Dragon onto Apex 47. He is surviving for such a long time. The extra HP will be gone. Long jumped on by TNC, but Wintercrow comes out, shut down! Monster kill for Long! Enfeng Yao Guai continues the assault!
The brawl, it's nasty. TNC may be down. Alien and Sunshine are coming back up. It's probably going to be a full reset at this point of time as we move into the 22nd minute of this game.
Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, we are witnessing a finale, the likes of which we could have never predicted. The Enfeng Yao Guai and Ulfvindar neither willing to give an inch, neither knowing what is on the line.
They got to keep themselves under control right now. Enfeng Yao Guai, yes, they're great at chasing down their opponents, but here comes the conceal.
Conceal play, U1 dropping the half HP, still has immortality, still has NetherRealm. Glorious Pathway comes out, cutting the Enfeng Yao Guai from the escape route. PCU with the knockup! NetherRealm used by Rosa as well. PCU flickers out, U1 gonna lose immortality. Rosa gonna make sure that is finished up. U1 somehow able to flicker out in time. Somehow, no death in this engagement.
It did cost them 2 battle spells though. PCU and as well as E1 both losing out on their flickers, trying to kind of group them up together as much as they possibly can for a max amount of damage. And E1 swapping out to that Winter Crown as well. He's got to make sure that his positioning is top notch.
Positioning is what matters right now. The Enfeng Yao Guai have all 5 members on the Lord. They have their waves set to push. Ulfvindar though can slow this down to see if they can out-macro their opponents. They will finally spot Sunshine in the mid lane, so they immediately try to go on Alien, but he's able to jump away.
They are just responding. The push and pull is beautiful between both of these teams. Top level plays. However, the desperation.
Blade Surge forces Purify from Long, and U1 is gone. Caught in the mid lane, cut off by Ulfvindar.
He can't respond into time. The burst from Sunshine is just way too much to handle before he can even get off the NetherRealm. At this point, they have to drag this out. Enfeng Yao Guai, what's going for them is that there are 3 missing inhibitors from the side of Ulfvindar. So it's really difficult to commit on a super strong Lord. 67,000 health, 24 minutes into this game.
Yeah, despite the kill Ulfvindar got, they're not actually able to start contesting the Lord because the waves are all pushing up for the Enfeng Yao Guai. But they have been able to clear them up somewhat. This means the DFYG actually need to respond to them themselves. U1 is back, but neither team quite in position to contest Lord yet.
Beautiful game being played by both of these top tier teams. And now Alien realizing I don't have the wave clear anymore. He's going to start the zoning real quick onto Pichu to chunk him to 50%.
He's still taking a lot of damage from that curtain call, but that means no ult from the CC. We can see the Nolan in the back line, but Long is gone! Apex found him! That's the shutdown on the Brew now! Zed throwing for the pickoff on Rosa, but he has NetherRealm to keep him alive! E1 has to flicker out. PCU gonna lose his life as well, and now Zed caught out by himself. Offenar gonna chase him down! He still has immortality, but it is not quite enough! He's gonna try and delay as long as possible, but that is 3 members of DFYG Yaoguai down for the count for 1 minute! KillVJ and E1, the only ones left to hold the game!
Oh, the next minion wave is going to take about at least 11 seconds to make it all the way back to that crystal right now. As the waves slowly crash down, TNZ will have to defend with his life while the rest of his members must end the game!
E1 gets cut off, has to use NetherRealm against the glorious pathway. Rosa taking a lot of
Clear
damage.
those waves!
Pursuit! KillVJ doing so much damage, but E1 is gone! KillVJ tries to delay with the Wintercraft, but the rest of his team will not respawn in time. Offender! Their path is open! And they will claim the series and the ticket to the Wild Card Finals!
Oh my goodness! Breathe, boys! You can tell they put everything on the goddamn line to make it to the Swiss stage. Nobody thought it was going to be this difficult, but DFYG Yaoguai shows that they are going to be an absolute monster next year. What an absolute beauty of a game!
The fan favorites would have never expected to be pushed this far at this stage of the competition. Emotions running wild at the M6 stage, but they have done it. They will be facing off against Incilio in the finals tomorrow for the one final slot to become the 16th M6 team.
Oh my goodness, and it ends just like that. Sheer frustration, all because of one fight. Lung was playing a near perfect game. You can see that this took everything out of both squads.
Everything on the line, and it is not even the finals yet. Congratulations to Offenar. And truly, our heart breaks for DFYG Yaoguai. They put everything on the line. The game could have been theirs at any moment, but there was just one tiny step missing. But this is a team with infinite potential. This is a team that will continue to shake up the world of MLBB.
Dude, I'm about to throw up. After that game, I'm about to throw up as well. Holy cow, we still gotta break down that game. 26 minutes with the final score 21-21.
It is a true disservice that this was not the final matchup.
Oh, it really was. This could have been a best of 5.
We know that there can only be one team regardless, so the results don't really matter as much. But it would have been amazing to have witnessed this matchup in a best of 5 series. I did not expect to see this level of gameplay at the wildcards, especially seeing what happened last year. It just shows how much the ecosystem of MLBB has grown.
Hey man, we're nominated at the Game Awards for Competitive Game of the Year, man, for good reason as well. These teams put their hearts out here. You can see the passion coming in from both sides. We respect the game that was shown. What a beautiful display as we go into the post-game, because let's break it down here. All endgame items. Boots don't need them anymore. If you're a core, you better have more damage.
Oh, I don't even feel like there's anything in particular we can really point out at this point. These players did so well. Lost fights were not due to mistakes. It was due to better enemy positioning. It was just a push and pull and outplay at every corner.
Well, I mean, that's why, oh man, I hate having to be the color here. Unfortunately, for DFYG, the biggest issue that I saw towards the latter half of the game was the fact that E1 keeps on forgetting that the NetherRealm has a little bit of a buffer time. You have to preemptively use it before you die because there is a bit of a channel period. He positions himself way too far forward, and despite having Flicker, he will get run down by Apex 47 when he lays down the glorious pathway.
Yeah, I get the feeling that DFYG started getting a little bit too excited towards the end there. They saw the end in sight. They thought they could topple the system and do something no one would have expected them to do. But Yuan was no longer as tanky or as slippery as he was earlier on in the game with the amount of damage coming in from Ulfhednar.
Yeah, man, it really, I mean, this is one of those moments where you're probably looking towards the emblems and wishing that you had it's not coming to me right now, Weapons Master available to have that little bit of extra damage to start taking down the big dogs. But goodness, let's look at the post-game stats here. Have a double look at how much oh my goodness, 186,000 damage compared to Sunshine at 123. He literally doubles the damage of everybody.
Oh my goodness, that is insane, and it really shows just how powerful Bruno is in this meta. His positioning is so good. His hero pool is excellent. This is a player that honestly didn't seem to perform that well during MSC. And this is a completely different evolution.
Look, I mean, I think that his mechanics is very suited to be playing marksman, especially in the goal lane. I mean, you should just look at his auto positionings, right? His spacing is near perfect. He's never too far away. He's never too close to his opponents. And the only time we see him die is because he is willing to throw his body to bait out a fight in terms of finding an opportunity to crack open an inhibitor. And DFYG, they had all the right elements there. But unfortunately, when push comes to shove, Sunshine, despite having a really rough early to mid, finally scales at the very end, and he was still desperate to try and make a name for himself in the middle of these fights.
Sunshine was not able to play the game the way he wanted to in game number 2. Bullied and disrupted and not permitted to exist in the Land of Dawn throughout the entire game. And he came into game 3 with at vengeance, with a desire to prove to the world that that is not his true capability. A full build on Harif at the end with Enchanted Talisman and Lightning Truncheon. He is hitting you like a nuke.
Oh, he really is. He's just one-tapping people everywhere. Let's look at the MVP highlights here, because again, there's so many. There are so many moments which could have easily swung into their favor. Now, the early game, very, very scary here, because as DFYG continue to start snowballing out of control at a very steadily pace, Ulfhednar are waiting for item power spikes. Whenever they hit their first one, they have to make a play happen, and they force it upon themselves to deal it against DFYG. However, with the lead that DFYG was able to accumulate and able to rush on over once the ultimates were down, that's when you see them really shine. When they're forcing their opponents away, and of course, Gale VJ with that Infernal Pursuit making a lot of good work out of Ulfhednar.
Yeah, DFYG throughout the early to mid game was just a living highlight reel. Their micro mechanics on full display in every single engagement. However, I think their excitement got the best of them. We have to remember this is still a team making their first ever international appearance. The anxiety caused overextensions and a little bit too much in expectation of catching Ulfhednar off guard once again, which finally allowed the Turkish representatives to claim their prize.
And Ulfhednar will be moving on to the finals of the wild card up against Incilio. It really breaks my heart to see DFYG so close to making it over.
So many opportunities, but it seems like Ulfhednar was able to pull themselves back and compose what was necessary to eventually group up and end the game. Ulfhednar versus Incilio will be your M6 wildcard finals. One of these two worthy competitors will join the 15 other teams in the M6 Swiss stage.
Oh man, people are going to be looking back at that game